We did it.
God, we're here.
All right. You saved us from...
Thank you. We were hearing about Slambo.
Saved me. Slambo was explaining Tigons and Ligers, and
I don't
even
know. I don't know what happened.
Oh, no.
Nick and Brandon.
It's nuts to think about if we had just... Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, you're from the Tennis podcast, and you guys do top 10 lists, or ish.
10-ish list, yes, sir.
What's 10-ish? Is it like 9.5?
It could be like, like 8.
It could be 9.5. It could be 10.5. It could be 11.5. It could also be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10.
Ooh.
Usually 10.
Fuck yeah. And what has been one of your favorite lists so far? I've seen you guys have done most mentioned Bible names. You've done top pandemics. You've also done Disney business ventures. You've done a lot. You've covered a lot.
Yes, sir.
My favorite is the 10 worst presidents. We learned that some of our presidents died from eating too much rotten fruit and hot milk on the 4th of July.
Whoa.
Which one was... Wasn't there a president they pumped him full of, like, oil or something?
to get the
Remember that?
To get the badness out? I'm not sure which one that was.
Baby oil?
Yeah, we had a bunch of fuck-up presidents, including one who gorged himself on rotten food and died a few days later.
What?
That was Taylor.
Which one? Taylor?
I think it was Taylor.
Wow.
Yeah, Zachary Taylor's the one that died after eating fruit and milk in the summer heat.
No, fuck him.
He's the president. Why is he eating rotten fruit?
Somebody should have advised him on that. Don't eat that, Zachary.
Yeah. Although I would say if you get to the level of president, you should be smart enough to know that. But I look around today and I don't know how smart a president is anymore.
I don't know.
You've seen a picture of Zachary Taylor?
Who was the number one though? Was it Tronald? Who was the number one worst?
Yeah.
Spoiler. Spoiler alert. We'll take a look around right now. It was actually based on historians, so it wasn't a personal.
Oh.
Our lists are not based on our personal opinions, although that one did happen to align. They're based on fact whenever we can get a hold of them. So that was based on an aggregate of historians and other scholars weighing in on the issue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We haven't had enough scholars.
Brandon said,
on the guy now. We haven't had enough scholars and historians yet on the current guy.
No. But he still, and halfway through his term, managed to clinch the number one spot.
To make...
within a landslide.
I hope also that Nixon made it up there.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I can't remember if he did.
I don't think Nixon, despite being Nixon, he, I guess the bar is actually pretty high for being a shitty president. We had some pretty shitty ones in the mid-1800s.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Surprising. Wow.
Yeah, as for my favorite list, you asked about our favorite list. I think I really enjoy the list about Google searches. So, for example, earlier this year, I brought a list to Brandon. And by the way, if you're listening out there and you don't know how this show works, one of us brings a top 10-ish list. The other does not know what the list is ahead of time, and then they try to guess, like, right there on the spot. And so I bring Brandon these lists based on Google search trends that Google releases. And so what are the top Google searches of 2019 that start with the phrase, what is, or how to? And the shit people search, man, it's just flabbergasting.
You'll be glad you're staying inside your house.
That's what I was going to ask too. How do you guys compile it? Do you make the list yourselves, or do you have a source that you go to?
Go ahead, Brian.
The source kind of just depends on. You kind of start with like a good idea for a list. You got to think of something that everyone has at least a passing familiarity with. You can't get too deep in the weeds on anything. Okay. And it's got to be, something that you can have a conversation around, something you can joke about or bring up, something interesting to riff off of. And then from there, you can go. Usually, Wikipedia has like lists of lists that you could start diving through. But there's also some I used a list direct from the FBI's crime statistics site when we learned about the most popular murder methods in the United States. Those are all based on FBI statistics.
I would think a bullet would be number one.
Guns
What was
is
number one?
very popular.
Bullet? Okay, yeah.
Americans love guns.
Damn right.
Yeah. No, it was guns by far, far, far ahead of I think next was explosives.
God bless America.
Was there odd ones on there,
yeah,
like
Was there
katanas?
banana peel? Banana peel.
Samurai sword.
There was a whole section on blunt instruments or objects, and then a separate one for knives and stabbing weapons.
Wow.
Kind of like the T-1000 could only turn into things like knives and stabbing weapons. He was his own section of the FBI's list.
Damn. I don't know.
Yeah, and what Brandon was saying about how we have to have a list every time that has everyone has some baseline familiarity with. Thank you. We also like to have a variety of lists. So one week it'll be the most popular murder methods in America. The next week it'll be the fucking smartest dogs in America, or the most watched TV shows of the '80s, or we just like to mix it up and have a variety of genres that we do lists in.
Nice. Brandon, how did you get the name Sidekick?
Just fucking listen to him.
I was early on. I was trying to get recognition as an equal co-host, and I changed my Twitter handle from my just original name to Equal Co-host for a while, and it didn't catch on. And I think I screwed up the audio on my half of a recording, and I demoted myself to sidekick host.
Oh, okay. So it was like a self-stepdad. Okay.
Yeah, it allowed me to let go of of more responsibility.
He's definitely the more expendable of the hosts. Would you agree, Brandon? Would you say that's fair?
I wouldn't say that.
But the unique thing about our podcast too is we're the first grandfather-grandson pairing in podcast history.
Ooh, so like age
a lot of people don't know that, but
wow.
Yeah, Brandon's actually my grandfather.
Your grandson. Wow.
Grandfather, I think you said.
Oh, Brandon's the grandfather. Brandon's the old one?
He's really old, yeah. He's like
I'm not really old. I might not be the oldest person on this call.
How old are you, Brandon?
In spirit, at least.
I am 38 in 4 months.
So you are not the oldest one on this card. Call.
Exactly.
No, hang on, Brandon. They asked how old you are now, not how old you were 20 years ago. Or did you answer that correctly?
Current state of me.
Okay.
I got a lot of candy,
I mean, you guys are hearing it.
I got a lot of candy and puppies in the back of my car, Brandon, if you want to hang out. How did you guys meet?
I think you know very well how we met.
Pokemon cards.
So we actually met at work, believe it or not, and we've worked together between two different companies for almost 10 years now.
Wow. That's how me and Slim met.
And a lot of people... What's that?
That's how me and Slim met at work.
Oh, yeah. And a lot of people don't know this, but Brandon's actually my boss at work.
Damn.
if you can believe that.
Fuck.
He sucks.
Yeah. I didn't know. That was fucking mind-blowing to people. I don't understand.
Well, I think it's surprising to people that listen to our show because
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway,
So everything you do on the show can be taken out on you at the job.
right.
Not yet.
He doesn't have the guts.
I dare you, Brandon.
I don't know how much willpower I have.
I don't have
We're all
much.
firmly in the middle of management.
Yeah, I don't want to even get to that high of a status. I'm gonna stay on the bottom.
Yeah, I'm gonna fly low.
Right under the radar. Right under that radar. Goddamn. That's. What do you guys have planned for the next episode? Do you know?
Yeah, well, that's the thing, man. I have the list on the next episode, right? I bring a list. I bring
Yeah.
the research and the notes and the trivia. Brandon is supposed to guess, but he doesn't know what that list is until we hit record.
Wow.
So because the whole point of the show is for him to not have a heads up and have to guess in real time. But that said, since we're doing this show with you now, I'll give a preview and say that our next episode, we have not recorded it yet, but I do have my list prepared, and it is about serial killers. So,
Whoa.
Brandon, there you go. There's your heads up.
Damn.
I've been doing years of research. I'm prepared.
From your time as a serial killer.
From my own anecdotal experiences.
Yeah, but like the last episode that we released was our favorite characters and moments and quotes from The Office. Before that, we had the deadliest pandemics in human history. Very timely, one might say.
Yeah.
And then, you ran through some other ones we did recently, but I'll also shout out a few more here. We did the highest grossing Arnold Schwarzenegger films, the deadliest national parks in America, based on how many national parks see death, people fucking melting in geysers and shit. The most popular Christmas carols of all time, the strongest animals on Earth based on their strength to weight ratio, the best-selling VHS tapes of all time, the top horror villains by kill count. I'll stop there, I guess. But, we release an episode every week, every Wednesday. And, Aaron, you got serial killer shit to look forward to next week.
Damn right. It could be the worst. It could be the best. It could be the
Sexiest.
sloppiest. Yeah.
The cutest, yeah.
Yeah.
Bubbliest butt.
Hungriest.
The thirstiest.
Yeah. The thirstiest killer. I was gonna. You mentioned the deaths at theme parks, or was it theme parks or
National parks.
I was gonna ask.
National parks.
I
yeah.
saw you guys did the Disney one. I feel like you guys should do Disney deaths.
Yeah.
I actually found a list the other day of accidents at Disney theme parks.
Oh, there's some
And
good ones.
there have been surprisingly few deaths at the park.
Ah.
I'll have to see. I apologize, I don't have it right in front of me here, but there was it was a list that was shared for people who were bored during quarantine, and I found it like my first day of quarantine. I already got to the bottom of the internet. I found this list, and one of it was a list of Wikipedia list of incidents at Disney theme parks, and there are some pretty fucked up things that have happened inside Disney World over the years.
I just remember one. I think it was a guy trying to ride the monorail, and stood up on it and just decapitated. Just decapitated.
Oh, god damn. Yeah. Imagine that head's going to come clean off and land in the lap of some kid in the row behind him, right? Like,
oh my god.
you might as well count that kid as a death too.
Oh, he's dead inside. He's totally dead inside. I remember it wasn't that long ago. It was like, oh my god, probably like 12 years ago. Somebody at a Six Flags got their arms like ripped off
Oh yeah.
on one of the rides.
Yeah, I think I heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but did they live?
Who knows? Who knows? Who needs
If you
them?
get
Yeah.
your arms
Who cares?
Yeah, fuck them. They
What'd you say?
don't. They can't produce.
A lot of them
Yeah.
are just like stupidity. A lot of the theme park
Yeah.
cats, like,
They deserved it, right, Slambo?
I mean, it was just survival of the fittest.
Been in the herd, huh,
So
guys?
what it was, man.
You're weak if you die at a theme park. It's the first
Damn.
Lambo.
I jumped the fence to get a hat when I knew the roller coaster could come.
Yeah, but what if you're on the roller coaster and the nuts or bolts are loose on it? It's not your fucking fault that.
Well, I'm talking about the real dumb ones.
Okay.
Oh,
the real
like,
dumb
like
ones.
the dummies.
Like the guy that stood up on the monorail.
Yeah, like that guy.
That type of shit.
Fuck yeah. Guys, we have to wrap it up. Shit, I did not realize it is 9:29 in the PM, but you guys have been great.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thanks. Coming up.
Yeah, and just hope everyone out there in I almost said TV land, but podcast land checks us out. The 10-ish podcast. You can find us on any podcast app.
Awesome.
Thanks for having us on, guys.
Thanks for coming on, guys. We will definitely
Thanks, guys.
shout you guys out. And when the show comes out and all, I will mention you in that.
Yes, sir. Thank you. We'll plug the hell out of it.
Fuck yeah. Thank you guys. Have a good one.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Stay pandemic free.